The weight loss world is your oyster. Hi guys, hi sweets. Today we're going to be talking about how to start implementing your knowledge, how to go from knowing to doing. Because on the surface level, you know it's good for you. You know eating nutritious good food, walking and being outside is good for you. But if you seem to struggle to put it to action, you should watch this video. I'm going to tell you 5 things that you need to do to start going from just knowing to doing, but more specifically about weight loss. I lost 40 pounds in 2023, but that wasn't the first time I lost weight. I remember the time before that when I lost weight, I had done it for all the wrong reasons. I had negative intentions for myself. I also had not done the work, mental barriers that I had not dealt with. I lost like 10 or 15 pounds, but I ended up gaining like 20 something pounds, I think. Also, at that time, during my weight loss journey, the process was very draining. I hated it. It was more of a chore for me instead of an act of caring for myself. But long story short, let's get into the video. The first one is working on your self awareness, taking time to self reflect. Unless you self reflect, you won't be able to recognize your harmful patterns and work on them. It'll also be really difficult for you to sustain the progress that you've made unless you have a knowledge of yourself, of your emotional responses, your triggers, your habits, because those will affect the relationship that you have with food, with yourself, with your body. So it's extremely important to take time to get to know yourself. For me, like I mentioned earlier, when I had lost weight, like the previous times, and the way I was going about it as well, very questionable, very unhealthy. I did not know that I was an Olympic self sabotager. That after a couple of months, my self sabotaging tendencies took over and I stopped working out. It was just junk food every day, multiple times a day. And I even cut my hair. That was just like my peak self sabotage moment. However, if it wasn't for that experience, I would not know myself the way that I do now. And I do not regret that experience because, say, you have to lose yourself to find yourself, right? So that was great. Also, like, you don't have to do all the things that I did. You don't have to go crazy and cut your hair or spiral into self destruction to find yourself. You can even look at other aspects, other parts of your life, how you're showing up, how you're managing your emotions and the interactions that you have with others. You can see that and you could apply the lessons or the ways of being into weight loss, into wellness. You have to be mindful of the content you consume. So, the conscious part of our brain processes 40 bits of information per second. For instance, right now, I'm looking at my camera, looking at my little lamp, my fake flower, and the window. That's the conscious part of my brain processing. I'm also processing what to say, I'm thinking about what to say. However, the subconscious part of my brain, it processes 400 billion information bits per second. It's 40 bits for conscious, 400 billion bits for subconscious. No idea what my subconscious brain is processing right now. No awareness whatsoever. However, my subconscious has a huge influence on my emotions, behaviors, habits, influences all those aspects without me being aware. Wild, right? So, in your weight loss wellness journey, it's incredibly important that you consume content related to that or consume content related to ways of being that help you in that regard, like discipline and self-love and motivation, all that stuff. Because over time, as you immerse yourself with content like that, the essence of it settles in your mind. If I'm scrolling on my feed and I see one health related content among 50, and then the other 50 ones are just like memes. I love memes, by the way, but just memes or like drama content or whatever. It's gonna take a long time before the health and wellness content settles in my brain. Okay. But if I'm consuming like 70% health and wellness or related content, it's going to be easier for my subconscious to soak in that information. So, for instance, for me, with my food addiction recovery journey, I remember exactly the moment I decided this is not for me. But I'm also aware that that moment just, did not come out of thin air. Or I was interacting with a lot of wellness and health related content, food addiction related content ish as well, the past couple of months. consistently. Acknowledge that the possibility of better settled in my brain. It's possible to form a healthier relationship with food. That had already settled in my brain. That's what triggered my commitment to change. So the next point, it's kind of related to the previous point, but you have to understand the impact of what better can do for you. What this essentially means is that once the essence of better has settled in your mind, you can evaluate your current situation from the lens of that better knowledge. You can see the contrast, you can see the difference, but you're also aware that there is a possibility that you can achieve it. So this allows you to understand how impactful this change could be to your life. Let me explain. So for me, once the essence of a better relationship with food settled in my brain, it made me reflect on my then current relationship with food, how it was affecting my physical, mental, emotional, physical, social, every aspect of my life. I started analyzing my sentiments towards food. I then eventually got to the conclusion that I did not have any control over my life. Food was what was controlling my life. Because I knew that there's a possibility of a better way of living, this made me very committed to change. Fourth one, this is very important. You have to be willing to do hard things for yourself. Losing weight and forming habits can be an extremely demanding process, physically and mentally demanding. Acknowledge that you will face challenges and obstacles, whether it's fighting temptations or keeping up with your routine or just pushing through. Acknowledge that it's not going to be an easy ride. And of course, especially at the beginning, if it's something that you've never done before, it's going to be challenging. It's insane for me to put on roller skates for the first time ever and be upset that I'm not good at it. I'm going to fall a lot, but I just have to keep pushing through. In the same way, it's not going to be easy at first, but at the end, it's going to be worth it. Also, understand that you can do hard things. You do hard things all the time for other people, for the people that you love. So, acknowledge that it's a hard thing, but also acknowledge that you can do hard things. You've done hard things. Fifth one is make a realistic game plan. Without a clear plan, it's so easy to get distracted, especially when you're taking on a new habit. It's going to be very, very challenging if you don't have a plan. But also, when you're making this plan, tailor it to yourself. What kind of meals do you like? Do you like to cook? Do you not like to cook? Do you like to go to the gym? Do you like home workouts? You can tailor every aspect of your weight loss journey to your needs and to your preferences. There's not only one specific way of losing weight, there's not only one specific way of exercising or eating correctly. So, for instance, for me, I don't like spending hours in the kitchen every day or even every other day. So I prefer to meal prep ahead of time. And for my snacks, just do protein bars or just packaged protein shakes and whatnot. And I understand it's way better to eat whole foods. However, at this point in my life, I really don't have the time or the mental capacity to start, spending hours in the kitchen. So that's just what I'm gonna do. I'm being very realistic for me. So do the same for yourself. However, when it comes to working out, I hate home workouts. I don't want to work out at home. I'd rather work out outside or at the gym. The weight loss world is your oyster. That's it for today's video. Thank you for watching.